everyone, Stephanie Denman here from the Denman Homestead, and today I am working in the barn. I've got a little bit of a head cold, so if I sound kind of excuse me for that. I've been working really hard on this insulation, trying to get the rest of the insulation done in the barn so that we can move on to sheetrock in the rest of the barn. Let me give you a quick tour of what this construction zone looks like and why I'm feeling like, I don't know, a fire is lit under me again to get this thing going. Okay, so this door right here, so you don't get turned around, it leads to our back door to our house. So to give you some perspective on where you're at barn-wise, there's this outside door. We've got two doors to this area. One right here that we just walked in, and then one down there by the bathroom. I'll give you guys a quick tour just so you can get a little bit of an update. So this room right here will eventually be an office space for Buddy, and that's where we've got the electrical box, the panel. We have all of the radiant barrier installed on the roof and the walls, which you'll be able to see in here when we move over here. But right now I've got most of this room finished with the insulation, the wall insulation, the bat insulation, should I say. So we've got that covered. I went ahead and, I don't know if you know or not, but interior walls that are not an exterior wall, but like share rooms, typically aren't insulated. But I went ahead and insulated this wall. I'm working on insulating this wall. I've still got a couple more wall joists to fill. But I want to insulate this wall simply for soundproofing for Buddy in here. Because if I'm going to be in here working, and he's in here working, I wanted to make it a little bit more soundproof. So that's why we've got insulation going up on this interior wall. Okay, so, excuse me, I'm a little out of breath. But behind the insulation on every wall is this. That's radiant barrier. So we've got this taped and glued to the wall. And if you've ever seen a house wrapped in a radiant barrier, that's essentially what it is, but we're in a metal barn, so this is what we had to go with, this type stuff. So this is going to be a little kitchenette. We've got stuff everywhere, guys. So it'll be like a little L-shaped kitchenette, workspace table area, and the hope is that we can have some sort of Murphy bed or pull-out couch or something for this to be a livable mini apartment, studio apartment type space for guests, or if they want to stay over or whatever it may be. So this will be kind of like a little mini apartment in here. So that's the plan for this little space. And this space right here is all I have left to insulate. And I'm hoping I did the math right, and I'm hoping I have enough insulation over there to get that done. I want to get that done pretty soon. And then over here, we've got the beginnings of what looks like almost a finished out space. I've started laying down some of our flooring that I'm going to go with. It's a Stain Master vinyl plank flooring that it's a lock and click system. And then this is our finished bathroom. And if you guys have followed along for a while, you'll know that we really had to push to do this for the baby shower that we were hosting for Lissa and Jake. So we got this finished in time. First time for me to do anything like sheetrock, texture, tape, mud, float. We did it all, and I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out. So this is what that looks like, and we installed the shower. We've got videos on that too if you want to go back and check those out. Everything works, plumbing works, no leaks. Really proud of Buddy for that. So it's nice to be able to come in here and have AC running. It's blurry a little bit. Now, when the AC guy installed our AC unit, there's a little bit of a hole up here that they had to drill, so I do have some patching to do, some patchwork to do around the AC unit, so there's some touch-ups that need to be done. This is that built-in that I made for the space, and I didn't plan on that. It just so happened to work out that we got some extra space in here because I wanted to cover up the water heater. So the water heater is behind this door, and then we've got some built-in storage around it. So that worked out nicely. And then this door, it says to watch your step for people who come, because there's this metal lip here that's part of the barn. That's normally not part of, you know, regular homes. And then there's the garden, so it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea on the layout of where everything is. So let's go back inside and talk about the upcoming projects. Okay, so I would love to be able to be in bed right now and just like sleep off this head cold I've got. But I 2 cups of coffee in, got my medicine, my head cold medicine in me, and I'm gonna start hammering away at this insulation because yesterday, depending on when you guys are going to see this video, we've had some recent local flooding in our area. And G and Pops, we were talking to them last night about the flooding coming in. And Buddy said, well, worst case scenario, you guys can just stay in the barn. I was like, in the RV or in here? Like, where in the barn are we putting grandparents? Because this is still super unfinished. Sure, there's a bathroom and a shower, but we're not going to put Gigi and Pawpaw with raw insulation. No. So I got to thinking about it, and I was thinking, you know, this is no time to be sick, because what if we had some sort of like, I mean, hurricane season is upon us. What if we need to relocate some of the family down here? I never really considered this to be like I don't even know, like a backup space for emergencies. Like, I didn't really think of it. Because down where Buddy and I are on the family land, we're closer to the street. We're right next to Kim. And during Harvey, Kim and I, our homes were the only ones that didn't flood. So, God willing, fingers crossed, in the future, it will remain that way if we ever get that catastrophic event again. But it might be easier and more helpful for people who are displaced to have a place to come that's their own, and they can have their space and their privacy if need be. So, not that we've been dragging our feet on this project by any means, but I've just been kind of in the garden recently and tending to other things and taking a little bit of a break on this stuff. But now that we've got these flood events coming and happening, and Buddy saying G and Pops can stay in the barn, which they totally can, kind of gave me like a little bit of a spark to finish this part up so we can move on to sheetrock. And I think once the sheetrock's up, it's going to really start to feel more put together as a little home. So that's my motivation today, is to get this insulation up and running, and you guys can hang out with me while I do that. And I'll just show you again, because this is brand new for me, putting up insulation. This is kind of our test subject barn area. I think we're doing pretty good, but I will tell you, YouTube University is coming clutch with these projects, because I've learned so much do's and don'ts, tips and tricks on building a house essentially, and even me being a realtor by my day job, and I work with new construction, and I help clients buy and sell, and I review inspection reports with them. I've never done hands-on plumbing, insulation, sheetrock, tape, float, mud, electrical, you know, been behind the walls, behind the scenes. So this is so cool for me to be kind of in the industry, to have like that hands-on experience and do it myself. And then it gives me so much more appreciation for tradespeople who do this for a living, because God bless the sheetrockers of the world. It is a hard job. It's all hard, but it's super rewarding as well when you do it and you see the final product, and it's awesome. Okay, that's my soapbox, and I'm gonna get to unrolling this, and just, you guys can hang out with me for a little bit while I throw some of it up. Come on. Real quick though, so I can talk to you about what I do to prepare to work with sheetrock. I wear gloves. These are just some gardening gloves that Buddy got me, so I'm wearing these gloves. And because I've got a short sleeve t-shirt on, it is Texas and it is hot outside. Even though we have an AC unit on, it still warms up in here. So my mom actually gifted me these cool, I don't even know, they're arm guards, but they're for gardening. And they've got this little hole right here, hole in them. She sent them to me. I really don't, I think maybe she got them on Amazon. They're real stretchy, but they're for gardening. So whenever I'm picking stuff with like thorns or abrasive type things, it doesn't scratch up my arms. And this has actually worked out really well for the insulation. It doesn't get through this material, and it's so lightweight that it's not hot. It really isn't hot at all. And I can just slip them right off instead of like changing my entire clothes to do anything. So I've got these and my gloves. I have a tape measure and I have some scissors, because that's what I use to cut the insulation to length. You can also use a box cutter. Box cutter will work. I just find that scissors are quicker to cut through the material. And I'm using something called R13 Faced Insulation. Faced Insulation has a, let me just show you. It's got this paper on it. It's kind of like, it's not cardboard, but it's just like a thick brown paper. And it actually also acts as a moisture barrier as well. So we've got the moisture barrier on the back and then one on the front. Some insulation are unfaced, which just means you just got a roll of that fuzzy stuff, no facing to it. And that's a little bit cheaper than the face stuff, but this just adds a little bit of an extra layer of protection for exterior walls when you're working with, you know, high moisture areas and things like that. So that's why we went with the faced. And also, I believe it helps to staple to the studs easier. Now, you can, I mean, I've seen a lot of people tuck this into the stud itself and staple on the inside of the stud so you can see the exposed stud. And I'm sure that's probably a good way to do it. I don't know. But I've just been stapling them on the outside. I find it's easier for me to do it. And it's a barn, so that's what I'm doing. One thing I like to do with this rolled insulation is, as soon as I unwrap it from its packaging, I like to go ahead and roll it out as far as I can get it to roll out, because the tighter it is back here, the more compressed the insulation is in the center of the roll, making it more compact and compressed down here. So when I roll it all out, it starts to kind of expand. If you've ever gotten one of those pillows or a mattress or something that's super tight, and you have to let it expand for a little bit for it to get to its full width, you can come through and start to kind of like fluff this up, and it's very much pliable and pullable, but you can easily tear this. So I just unroll it and let it sit here for a second, and then by the time I come and measure, it's already started to kind of expand and puff up. Okay, I have already measured my wall length, and I know that it's 103 inches tall, the cavity that I need to fill. So I'm gonna get my tape measure and my scissors, and I'm gonna measure out 103 inches, cut it, and then staple it in the cavity. Now before I hang that one I just cut, I'm gonna move it out of the way really quick and unroll more of this so it can start to expand by the next section that I need to cut. Okay, now for this part, I'm gonna be using my staple thing, gun. It's not really a staple gun, it's a heavy duty stapler. And this is what I'm gonna staple the bat to the stud with to hold it in place. You just have to excuse this mess here. I'm working around everything. I do have an electrical box down here. So I'm going to cut around. I'm going to cut this insulation around and tuck it behind. Make sure it's nice and neat around that electrical box. Alright, and there you have it. Top to bottom, insulation installed. Let's look at it from the other side. If you can see anything. Because it's a game of shuffle here. Okay. Looks good. Now we're going to move on to the next. Alright, so I have completed this office space completely. It's all done. And I've completed this wall behind me in this other room. Let's go look. Alright, that's done. The office space is done. So my last wall to tackle, out of everything, is this wall right here, and of course it's got the most stuff because I have to shuffle everything to one wall so I can work on another. So, but I'm gonna stop here for now, wrap this up because I'm getting pretty hungry for lunch. I need to take a little bit of a break. But I see the light at the end of this itchy tunnel with this insulation, just one more wall, and then we can move on to sheetrock. And that's exciting too. Okay, well, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.
On the Denman homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.